So this guy that called me out and tried to jump me on the bus, even if the people he was with were not interested in jumping me. He tried to get me jumped on the bus. He tried to call me out, and it was back during the mask ordinance. And when I was called out for the mask being below my nose by the bus driver, I responded to the bus driver like, "Sir." But I didn't know that the bus driver was a pre-operation transgender, because they were wearing male bus driver uniform. And this guy got up in white knight and told me to refer to her as ma'am and all this stuff before I knew that she was even ma'am. Like, I'm not trying to trigger and clown or be a. I'm not doing any of that. And I made that video that probably set people the wrong way, but at the same time it's two men acting out. But fucking, I seen this guy again, and I talked to myself, right? But yeah, I directed a jibe at him from across the street when I was talking to myself. You know what I mean? Because I'd be like going through this thing where I try to figure out stuff. But anyways, he wanted to rationalize, and it was an ordinance, right? He wanted to rationalize who's in the wrong because it was an ordinance. There was an ordinance. What is ordinance? That word, right? Did you know it could apply to paper? Like something people put up in the windowsill in their shops, and it tells people not to patronize the cashier, even though that's how you get patronize is how you get transactions, and then that's for the robust taxes and shit. That's one of the things that let us know that we couldn't that boycotts don't work, that they would shut down their own shit. And we were trying to hit the big brother in the pocketbook. We were trying to get people to take a day off of work because we thought one day off of work, it would get them to highly reconsider being oppression. No, it's not that simple. It's kind of cheesy. Oh no, it's kind of because of the code, the man code, where that guy wanted to use to explain why he's crossing the street again. Like, I told you about these people that cross the street to try to fight me because I'd be talking to myself, but whatever I be saying is like clowning. And even I am guilty of joking around, making eye contact with people and continuing on as normal, as if I was talking to them when I'm not, because I'm playing crazy. Not plain crazy, I mean. Sometimes I don't even know if I'm playing crazy, or if I'm actually crazy. I've been telling people, because it's like, even though I could have those thoughts inside, you know what I mean? But I have those thoughts, right? And they come back around the same way that they do when you speak it. When you speak it, it's not the end of it. And you never stop trying to figure out the strange power that is over people. And I think it goes to the intention of flubber. Because plastic is access to all the reconstituted bio you filler. Cardboard is not going to do it. Like, talking about feeding our food source animal, the pork, all the pork, they get ground up plastic. And then we have these, and reconstituted biofiller is substrate for pathologies. So you could study all different kind of pathologies and shit like that. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like why do you have to name it that? You get a clean terminology for something hideous and grotesque, the same way that nature uses a thin attractive veneer to disguise all this hideous and detestable. Why do people get to do it though? You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to balance the destructive energy and channel it into creation and building the Hearthstone and being a upwardly mobile progenitor, like you're advised, like you were given, it's almost like we were requited or advised that this is what you do, you know. And some people think that procreation is over because of running out of land. And then I think land management is much of it. So it goes back to geoengineering, pre-Diluvian, Typhonian, Akashic records, Djed, and stuff like that. Because it's how we're going to get the money to deperson as well. Because it's going to adhere to the body politic. Your vote is your volt. You know, and a charge can come on a piece of paper, or it can come from a Djed, or it can come from an election, which is modeled by the Djed. It's okay if you don't know what I'm talking about. And if you find out later than sooner, it doesn't mean anything either. It doesn't mean, it's just how you process. You can only feel bad for somebody who doesn't process. Then some of this information seems like it is contentious because we want to set up a new system to do the same thing that we've already done before. So when I be stressing out about the root seed text hash authenticator ID and the new seal, and why does it look like we're not about to do something we are, when you can put the post office, keep them on a government pension and have an explainable reason for it. Why do you have to wait until after determinism rolls into austerity, and austerity rolls into the overturning of a municipality, fire and brimstone, you know? And you have, at the same time, it's like that reference means something entirely different to somebody else. Then they're conflating all of these different fields that goes on outside of, but is also wielded by the interest of the messianic. It's like, just because something is outside of the messianic doesn't mean that the Christ energy won't wield it to his own end, to meet his own end. Then you don't need to be afraid of it so much, as far as it can be used against you if you don't know. And you're mad, you can't be, you know, because everything is apropos and appropriate for its particular time. And you have things like sophistry, which we know to be evil, but there's a curriculum and an appropriate time to do that. It's like postulations making for a debate. You don't want to have a debate with somebody without being able to postulate certain things. Then you would just be trying to justify without epistemology. I'm just learning about this stuff now. It's interesting, and I might get the perspective at the last minute. But that's the thing. It's only matters is that you get it. Don't be mad at the people who arrive in the perspective at the last minute, because we might have pieces of it, but we need one more. We need one more. So back to this guy, right? I didn't fight him. Why do I want to just... Anybody who's responsible, doesn't matter how you got into a fight with an old person, if they displaced their hip or something like that, you look like shit. You look like a shitbag. Why does this person call himself an elder and doesn't have nothing good for me ever since back to day one? Feel righteously and justified. I kind of yeah, that's it. Because I said you can talk to yourself as much as you want to, as long as you don't say you. Now here's the thing, right? What if I want to stand on American principles, free speech? You know what I mean? You can get offended all you want to, but I'm on my side of the street and you're crossing the street to come over to mine to incite me, then so I could hold out in a fist and cuffs against a senior citizen to fucking want to be an elder to tell me, and going back to fucking, he feels like he's being fucked with. I don't give a I don't not care. I am fucking with you because I can, because remember back in the day, bitch ass motherfucker, you were trying to fight me on a bus because I didn't fucking lower my, because I have my mask below my nose, bitch. And you want to rationalize whether or not you had justification, but it was a fucking ordinance. You're going off a fucking ordinance on, don't worry. You're saying I don't give a fuck if all the law and order was telling you that's the way. You didn't have to get up and challenge me and tell me, and white knight to tell me that my thinking is bad because I can't recognize who's in what stage of an operation. And you haven't. I told him you had an emasculated symbol on his 7-Eleven store, on his 7-Eleven fucking baseball cap, and they called him a nigger because he did represent what a nigger was supposed to represent back before I realized that it didn't mean nothing. It only means strewn about in a fashion that left with irregard. It only means that nobody's keeping up with it anymore. Like nobody's keeping, like it's niggerly if nobody is taking maintenance on it. It's forgotten. It had nothing to do with race. You might not even like it. It was like, it could say that you're a peasant, like you're a grifter or something like that. You could ruin conventional activities with your presence. And that may or may not be true. It may or may not be true. And if it turns out that you're not a nigger and somebody who's calling you a nigger is, I'm not even going to tell them because that's just stupid. It's just dumb. We don't even talk like that anymore. I just say black anyways. I just say black. I don't even say nigger. This is only when somebody is acting like a bastard, then I guess. You could use it you could be endearing with it too. And you can use it in a negative way to back somebody off your shit too. And they get mad about it too. That's the way it's supposed to be. You notice? You know what I mean? Who's gonna want to put me in my place? You know what I mean? It's gonna be a Jew. It's gonna be Jews. It's not even gonna be my people. Because it is abrasive. It is abrasive. But fucking, I'm talking about a nigga though. I'm talking about a Shechem fucking buck dancing, fucking cornball, goofy ass, dipshit, wave riding ass nigga. He wants me to call him an elder. What the fuck is that? You can't be my elder unless your message is coherently preserving and fostering upper mobility. And every time I run into this motherfucker, I'm using my judgment to not make a call where you would be deliberated by a magistrate, a judge. This fuck nigger. Because I'm lighter than you, you're going to get killed somehow. Well, not me either. You're going to get killed by a Mexican. I don't give a fuck. It's somebody else. It's always supposed to be me. You never keep it real, but you can still die. I'm talking to that old ass man. But not that like I want him to or anything. I don't even, just because it's fresh on my mind. I had to get it off my chest. It's probably not even healthy for me to be doing that. I don't look like a red panda anymore.